Hey there, it's Dorleen. Welcome to my channel. I'm working on a layout with the Designer Deep Dive Challenge with Tara at the Paper Snob. You'll have all the information in the information box to talk a little bit more about that. So every month she gives us a designer and we're supposed to do a deep dive into it. Now this month was Basic Gray and I knew exactly what I was going to use. I've had these papers and it's called Sweet Pea by Alyssa or Sweet Pea Alyssa, something like that collection. I love this collection. I've never used it. I bought it so many years ago. I don't know why I've never used it. Honestly, I think I kind of forget about it every so often. But as soon as I saw Basic Gray, the first thing I thought of was, gosh, did I get rid of that? Because I usually go through my piles and I like when I'm going to a crop, there's always those trash to treasure piles. And so I always bring my stuff that I know I'm never going to use. I was so happy to find it because I knew that these would be perfect with these pictures of my granddaughter. Now this is showing kind of fast because I cut this thing down a 1/2 inch and the white of the bottom kept showing up and it was like a sliver of white and I kept going over it, moving it a little bit, going over it. It just finally got cut off. It's so silly, but I wanted to keep it in because I kind of felt like it was a little bit of a blooper. But because I had this paper, I wanted to use as many as I could because I had a feeling I wasn't going to use it again. So I tore the one that has like the writing, and on this one kind of looks like a little bit of a wallpaper. I cut 3 inches off. I'm just going to put it right on the bottom. I really like the what would you call that, like antiqued edge on these, so I wanted to keep that on the bottom edge. And then I moved that torn paper just a little bit lower because I just want a little bit of that showing. And then I had pulled out this wooden paper originally when I saw these pictures of my granddaughter because she's leaning against the fence. And I thought, well, it still kind of goes. And plus it gives a little variety. So I just have it tucked in there. Look, you can barely even see it, but it is tucked in on there. And I wanted to include all 3 pictures, even though it's pretty much the exact picture. She just has a little bit different expressions on there. But she looks so cute. I just thought it was such a perfect little like a photo shoot of her. So I thought those would be cute. Now also with this collection was one full sheet, which I must have punched out at some point, and it's of these tags. So the weird thing is I think I must have used the tags before because there really wasn't that many left. And I know it was a full sheet at one time. But hey, whatever. Why I didn't use the paper, I do not know. Or maybe I did and I just had more than what I already have. But I just tucked in some tags here and there. I'm only going to use the ones over there on the top right and left. Those 2 I'm not going to use at all, or at least not for the actual layout. So this I really like. So I know I'm going to just go ahead and attach this stuff here. So I'm just going to really quickly put it on super speed. I wish I could work this fast. And just put these papers all on the layout or on the base. And also, I forgot to mention that base page is also one of the papers from this. I used 1, 2, 3 pieces of this paper plus the tags. And I'm going to be die cutting some flowers, because it definitely needs more than just these tags and the paper for embellishments. And the paper that I used for the flowers were also papers from this collection. And you'll see in just a minute. So I'm just went ahead and super speed adhering these down. And now I'm going through my little folder where I have different flowers or foliage. I wasn't sure what I had because I don't really use my die cut machine as often as I do my Cricut because it takes a little bit longer, I think, maybe just because I have to pull things out. But I did find these 2 that I wanted to use and I thought they worked well because these are roses on that paper, that background paper. And if you notice the ones I pulled out, those were roses, and this one's like a little wooden wreath kind of thing. So I use a few of those as well. So I'm going to really quickly, with the power of video, I went ahead and cut these off camera and I glued them all together. Those roses are gorgeous. They are 3 layers of paper and one is like the solid, the other one more like a shadow, and then there's the thinner one. I love the way they look. They're so pretty. Now, I told you, and I just showed you, that I used paper from this collection as well to make these flowers, which, as an afterthought, I'm not sure if that was a really good idea because there really wasn't a lot of difference in the flowers compared to, like the smaller ones. So, I mean, it still turned out really pretty when it's all said and done. And I'm going to pull out a chalk pencil in just a minute because I had some chalk pencils that I just keep on my desk. It's part of my little Lazy Susan that I have up on my desk. And I am going to color in just a little bit in the middle of the bigger flowers. And I think it does make such a huge difference. Like, you don't see it too much, I don't think, here. Maybe when you look at the close-ups of the final layout, you'll see it a lot better. But I'm just kind of rubbing the chalk in because it's very subtle, which is great because this paper really is very subtle and kind of vintage looking. So I really like that. So once I did that, and I'm going to end up coloring them in a little bit more. I know I just showed you a little bit, but because I'm really not sure what I'm doing, like I mentioned. So anyhow, so I'm gluing them onto the wreath base, and then I'm going to glue them on to the layout just as I feel like they look good by the time I'm done with my leaves and everything. I did do some white flowers, as you can tell, and those white papers are actually the back side of those pattern papers that I used as well. So I really tried to use as much of that basic gray paper as I could. Again, mostly because I haven't used it. So I figured, I don't want to get scraps of it now. It's bad enough that I had, years of holding on to the full pages, but I don't need to hold on to a lot of scraps. So I tried to use as much of that as I could. And I'm just playing around, trying to just kind of eyeball where I think things look good. And I mean, those, like I said, I love those roses. I need to make more just to make and have them on hand because they're so pretty. But I'm going to talk really quick about the deep dive or this YouTube hop that we're doing right now. So like I mentioned before, it is hosted by Tara from the Paper Snob, and she has a Facebook group, and the link will be in the information box. So if this is something you're interested in joining, definitely do that. And there'll be a link that you can do that for next month. So in the beginning of the month, she'll post what the designer is that we need to use for our layout. Again, this one was basic gray, and I don't have a lot of it, but thankfully I knew I had this, or I was pretty sure I had this one. And she also hosts a Rainbow Crush, which I love. And if you follow me, or if you're my subscriber, you know that I've participated quite a few times. She also does a Mix It Up Monday, which is more like mixed media stuff, and also a Iron Crafter challenge where she gives you like a random item and then you're to use it within your layout. So I don't normally do mixed media in my layouts, and I'm going to keep on saying that even though I'm using a lot of mixed media in this layout, which is so funny to me. But I just grabbed one of those finger daubers and I just started using some green ink just around the flowers to give it just a little bit more interest, because I kept thinking that they were getting lost because the colors of the flowers look so similar to the colors of the paper, because again, it's the same line. So I used that green, and then I found this like coral color that just happened to be on the side of my desk. So I punched out some more, or not punched out, cut out more flowers just from the same collection. And so I added those here and there. And for some reason, I had the hardest time figuring out where I was going to put them. But, eventually I just kind of plopped them down. So that added a little bit color difference, and I really like that. And then just when I think I'm done, or at least, excuse me, not done, but ready for the title, which is going to be in the middle of that, because I wasn't really sure what I was going to say. Then I started thinking, oh, look, I have a pink chalk pencil. Let me put a little pink there, and that looks so much better. And these actually have some, oh gosh, what do you call that? Like embossed lines, so they're roses, so you could really see them once I put the chalk. So I really like that. And then I started putting my finger dauber away, and then I thought, instead of cleaning it, I'm going to clean it off on the layout. But then I needed to add more ink in some spots. But you see how I just put these like random little polka dots? I love this so much because it's so quirky and unexpected. So I really like that. So again, I don't do mixed media, right? The only thing I didn't do is I should have splattered, and I might do it later. But anyhow, so I used my Cricut to get a title. I wasn't sure what I wanted to say because we happened to be at a birthday party, a family party, And it was in a park where they had a lake, and they just had this fence, and I decided to take pictures of my granddaughter. And so I was trying to look for something like, at the lake, but everything at the lake was very like water. And I could have just typed my own. I just wasn't feeling it. So anyways, I saw this thing that said photo op. You know what? That works. So again, using the same papers, I cut, this is 4 layers. I was really happy to put that same coral like paper as the base so that it really stood out on the page. And then I went back and I'm using that chalk pencil again to really outline the word photo. And in a minute, you're going to see me use a black fine tip pen to outline the word op and also photo, and then a couple other spots within the layout. But other than that, that is pretty much it. I do hope you like this video. If you do, give me a thumbs up. Hey, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're not already a subscriber. I do try to post at least 2 videos a week. One is always scrapbooking. The other is whatever it is I'm creating in my craft room, and that literally could be anything. But I have lots of playlists, so if you're interested in only 1 or 2 things, you can definitely go by the playlist. But again, I do post at least 2 videos a week, and I think it's really a lot of fun to do and to watch. But I hope you agree, and I hope you decide to hit that subscribe button. Another thing you can do is when you go through this hop, make sure you leave comments. Everybody loves comments and everybody responds. You're going to see a lot of very talented scrapbookers, and I love participating in all of Tara's challenges because there's always so many talented people and I learned so much. So I hope you like this video. It's super easy, super fun. Those flowers are gorgeous, like I mentioned. And I hope you liked what I did as far as my non-mixed media, right, layout. Thanks again for watching. Make sure you go through the hop and just give some love to all of the scrapbookers. Thanks again. Bye.